reading that data parallel. And for CODA, there's a schedule to actually bring those grid blocks down into the warp sizes that can execute concurrently in the GPU and then run on the GPU. Again, similar to how we showed in the previous slide. So if we look at the FPGA execution model, these examples we showed, the FPGA can execute all the custom instructions on that single block of data simultaneously in parallel, or we can break that data down into multiple blocks and then use different instructions on each different block of data that's broken down, or the same instruction again, but all executed in parallel. Again, based on how you coded the behavior today. Now let's tie this together with how FPGAs can create custom architectures. One such method is what we call kernel replication, and there's an OpenCL attribute we've added called non-compute units. And what this allows you to do is create a custom instruction, a very optimized custom instruction, which is really just a design of an efficient kernel. And then you want to use that and scale it up and use it in multiple places. So let's say that you've created a processing element that's been optimized, and you want to create a 1 or 2 dimensional array of those processing elements to operate on your data concurrently. We want to provide you the ability to access each one of those differently or the same. And so we provided the API to allow you to access each one of those processing elements independently. Specifically, let's say there was something differently on the edge data that you wanted to do compared to the middle data. Now, once you have that grid of optimized processing elements in place, you also want to be able to feed and share the data between those processing elements. So we can do that with a feature called channels or pipes in the OpenCL language. And again, we're showing you the code here to instantiate or create those channels in this case, and to move data by reading from a channel or writing to a channel in the OpenCL code. So at this point, you may be asking, well, why would I want to do that? Well, let's take an example where we try to do something as simple as matrix multiply, and we wanted to achieve a 1 teraflop floating point performance capability that the RE10 is capable of. And if we look at where we were with Stratix 5, at about 200 gigaflops, running at about 215 megahertz, we needed to get to 1 teraflop, which meant about a 400 megahertz operational speed. You're looking at over 5x improvement in throughput, and almost a 2x improvement in FStack speed, frequency in which we're running. So how do we bridge that gap from where we were in Stratix 5 to get to RE10? And this is a power user feature that we've added to our OpenCL compiler to get to. So if we did this exactly as any software programmer would do, which would, let's take an ND range of single data parallel kernel, let's code it like a CPU or GPU coder would, then effectively what you are doing is allowing the OpenCL compiler to decide on the circuit architecture. So it will handle the memory banking and the processing element architecture automatically, the topology and the interconnection between those banks and those processing elements. Effectively, you're leaving software to control the parallelism, the vectorization of the kernels, the matrix blocking, the fun rolling, and even the thread synchronization through the use of barriers. And with that software turnkey approach, we were able to achieve about 500 gigaflops per second. That's still not the 1 teraflop throughput capability that the RE10 is capable of. So by taking advantage of this power user approach in OpenCL and creating a processing element that's optimized with its feature, feeding data to and from it, and all as part of a kernel, and communication is done through those OpenCL pipes or channels that we showed you earlier, then really the data flow network model is very straightforward. And what you're really doing now is you're letting the software control the compute unit granularity, your spatial locality, your topology, and data movement, how you can caching and banking. And what that allows you to do is, I can look at architectural explorations on different architectures that I may want to try very quickly, very easily, without a lot of lines of code, and I can achieve a much higher throughput, about 1 teraflop, where we're achieving today with the RE10. But of course, as I said, it's about architectural exploration, so it doesn't have to be a grid. It can also be a linear pipeline or a data chain or a ring. If we take a look at that single instruction that inherently has a for loop with, in that for loop you have an if statement, if x equals y, foo, else to bar. So this is a thread one work item that's running through those different branches, and therefore it's serialized, and this can be a major performance factor. In a CPU, it offers branch prediction, so therefore as code is executed, when it reaches the branch, it will jump to the appropriate instruction to generate the appropriate result. But on a GPU, since it uses a simply pipeline, the same area with control logic, then it has to execute both foo and bar, which by its inherent nature means that it has to do both cases, and therefore it has the performance capability of what it could. But now in an FPGA, that's just fine, because the FPGA data path already has all the operations in silicon that you've defined, and it speculatively executes that. So what it's really doing is, it's looking at the code that's been written, it's compressing the schedule, and we see that there's an overlap branch condition that gets computed, so that we can absorb that into one block, and just effectively build hardware for path A or B, and use a multi-function to select whether we're running on A or B, so it uses more resources to do A and B. But it executes it in one instruction clock cycle, and not two. So one of the key areas with FPGAs that differentiate itself from especially GPUs is how it can memory. Since FPGAs can interface with multiple memory types, what we call heterogeneous external memory, first step is always to choose the memory that's right for what you're trying to do. So what I mean by that is, if you have sequential accesses to your data, then you want to store it in a sequential memory like DDR. But if you're doing random accesses to memory, then you want to store it in something like QDR, SRAM. Or if you need to have multiple banks of memory shared between FPGAs, you can use a very high-speed memory called hybrid memory queue to do that. But the key is that you're designing your algorithm with the memory access patterns in mind, and then you use the profiling tool of your memory performance to optimize that memory access. And remember that FPGAs support a variety of I/O, so you have a lot of flexibility and a lot of customization you wouldn't have in a GPU. And maybe to put that into a pictorial representation, what I mean by blocks of memory is you are not bound by external memory. The FPGA has registers where we can register data within that FPGA fabric. We also have the ability to also use those registers for private data, or local memory, pretty much in memory in the FPGA. But we can also go global upstream to the FPGA, as well as global outside the host as well. So the CPU and GPU, the cache and memory controller, handle the external memory dynamic coalescing. And what happens in the FPGA is we're creating dynamic coalescing hardware that's mapped to specific memory characteristics that are connected to it. So we will reorder the memory access at runtime to exploit the data locality. And we know that DDR is extremely inefficient at random accesses. So we want to allow the access to that memory to burst the rows wherever possible. So we'll create that buffer between the external memory and the kernel to reorder it and therefore stream the DDR memory as much as possible. Now, the other memory we talked about that's very important in FPGA is on-chip FPGA memory. This local memory uses on-chip block RAM resources that have extremely high bandwidth, 8 terabytes per second, and they can do random accesses in just 2 cycles. But there's a limited amount of that. So this memory subset is customized to your application. This is a huge value proposition over things architecture accelerators such as the CPU or GPU. The banking configuration, which is the number of banks, the width of the bank, and the interconnect are all customized to the kernel that you've written. And these can automatically optimize to eliminate or minimize any access contention. The key idea is to let the compiler minimize that bank contention. If your code has already been optimized for another architecture like a CPU or GPU, you want to undo that fixed architecture workarounds because this can prevent optimal structures from being inferred by our compiler. Taking it one step further, as we said, every kernel can access different memory independently, in parallel, concurrently. That FPGA local memory, if you had multiple loads and stores trying to access it, will effectively split that memory into logical banks. And that end bank configuration can handle the number of requests per clock cycle, as long as each request is addressed into a different bank. So manipulating the memory addresses so that parallel threads likely to access different banks will reduce the number of collisions and increase your overall memory throughput. So since these on-chip block RAMs are so critical for performance, you want to reduce or eliminate any stalls if you're trying to access them. So to do that, we can bank or split the memories into optimal amount of access. So in this example, let's say we have these 3 loads and 2 stores. We know that we can simultaneously read or write to any memory, because that's how the hardware is built. What will actually happen by our compiler is we'll do an address decomposition, and we'll look at your memory region analysis, and we'll optimize the banks such that we can create, in this case, 4 instances block RAM that would actually allow us to load and store in one block cycle all 5 instructions. The other thing that the FPGA can do with local memory is called transparent multi-coding. The problem is that when we share ports, it destroys performance. You have to arbitrate to that memory port, and that causes stalls in the memory pipeline. So there are 2 things that we can do. One is called double pumping, and the other is called replication. So double pumping is the effect of doubling the block frequency so that we can simultaneously access that memory. The other thing is to replicate the memory, as we saw before, where we can have duplicate entries and a buffer between them. So I wanted to say thank you, and I hope that you found this online training useful, helpful, informative, and look forward to talking to you in the future.
Hi. Today I'm excited to provide you with a first look at the transceiver technology that was part of the static product family. Transceivers are the backbone of the wireless, broadline, and data center industries. They are responsible for moving massive amounts of data from one place to another. Transmitting and receiving huge amounts of data to a single package is now a fundamental requirement for today's application, as well as addressing the needs of next-generation systems. The SAT-10 FPGA is uniquely positioned to address this need as a single package solution, providing up to 8 terabits per second of photo aggregate bandwidth. Yes, that's right, up to 8 terabits per second in a single package. Now let me show you how SAT-10 is going to achieve this incredible bandwidth. In front of me is the transceiver technology that will be integrated into the SAT-10 product family. I'll be showing you a dual-mode transceiver capable of both NRZ and PAM4 modulation. The dual-mode transceiver channel will be capable of switching between NRZ with data rates up to 30 gigabits per second and PAM4 up to 56 gigabits per second modulation. Now let me show you the transceiver in action. Here we have our demo platform. This is a dual-mode transceiver and a high-end electronic 70 gigahertz real-time scope. I just want to show you a 56 gigabits per second PAM4 eye. Here is the transceiver channel running at 56 gigabits per second PAM4 directly into the scope. As you can see, there are 3 eyes typical of PAM4 signal. The eyes are wide open, providing margin required for any application. Here you see the 56 gigabits per second wave. Using photonic scope, we have a good breakdown for each of the 3 eyes. My second demo will focus on the capability of the NRZ mode of the dual-mode transceiver. This setup here, I have the transceiver and a high-loss backplane. This is the transmitter at 30 gigabits per second NRZ, driving into a 30 dB insertion loss backplane, then looping back to the receiver. There are also 2 aggressive channels driving into the backplane. All 3 transmitters are sending out the PLDS31 pattern. As you can see, there are errors flooding in. Let's quickly and easily correct it. To do this, I'm going to enable the fully adaptive continuous time linear equalizer, or CTLE, and precision feedback equalizer, or DFE. Let's look at the error counter. There you have it, wireless transmission across the 40 dB and special loss pathway at 30 gigabits per second. Despite speeds, the requirement currently being called out by electrical standards. Therefore, production of modules possess a simple, high loss pathway in challenging environments. As we see, drive and transceivers are ready to address the need for increased system bandwidth of today's and next generation systems. Hi, I'm Michael. We're currently in the transformation phase of cellular connectivity, the future of ubiquitous wireless emergence. There are currently 6 billion mobile devices in the world. This is astounding when we think there are only 7 billion people. The number of wireless connected devices will explode with the advent of the Internet of Things, where the things require disparate types of connectivity depending on the application. As we look to the future, the most fundamental change will be in new standards, new usage scenarios, and new terminals. One new deployment model is a centralized radio access network, where the signal processing from multiple cellular base stations is centralized in a single location rather than being distributed closer to the antenna. This means allows them to use the data center like focusing on their virtualized partners. This will enable general hardware storage that can be reused for other parts when the cellular loading is low. The key enabling technologies for virtualized LAN are like general purposes and reconfigurable hardware acceleration, as mostly field programming networks. In 2015, Intel announced the intention to integrate FPGAs with Xeons in a single package to enable this processing model. Virtualized LAN can be used on a mixed-use building or campus for load-balanced Wi-Fi, licensed and unlicensed LTE between business, commercial and residential properties. VLAN merged with mobile executing enables applications to extract network metadata, generating new revenue streams, such as location-based services and edge cloud content caching. The demands for 5G cellular are a series of superlatives: 100x typical end-user data rates, 100x number of connected devices, and 1000x higher mobile data volume. Let's take a look at massive MIMO, which will be vital in 5G to increase capacity and throughput. It achieves this using 64 or 128 antenna elements, rather than using current 4 or 8. It has great impact in two areas: signal processing requirements and high-speed connectivity. In both cases, the requirements are met in an efficient and flexible fashion with FPGA hardware, including hardware present for options and H265 transceivers. An H5 user can use the capabilities of 5G cellular to tailor wireless connectivity to their specific requirements across voice, data, and customized applications, addressing multiple bandwidth and service requirements of the Internet of Things. The potential for innovation is tremendous. The combination of ubiquitous wireless connectivity and support for enterprise cellular to enable a personalized